All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday if you're watching this video when it comes out. I am recovering from last night. I've been telling everybody that I was super excited because Charlie Crockett was coming to town, and I was super excited to go see him. And everybody that I talked to is like, I don't even know who that is. You're crazy. So if you know who Charlie Crockett is, shoot me a message and say, that's awesome. I love Charlie Crockett too. We got to see him last night in the knitting factory, and it was super fun. But for this, mom of three, especially, a 4-month-old, getting home at midnights is a bit exhausting for this old lady. So, I'm very tired, but happy to be here. So, week 13 is open. So your 13th learning module. This week, the food issue that we're focusing on is, fish, and really, wild fish, farmed fish, and then some of those food issues associated with those different fish production methods, if you will. So there's a documentary out there, as usual, for you to watch. This one is about an hour and a half long and highlights a gentleman who decides that he's just going to eat fish for a year and then see the impacts that has on his diet. So whether or not that changes his omega-3s, which fish is high in omega-3s. I was a little bit bummed out that the documentary didn't highlight that there are other sources of omega-3s. So fish is a great source of omega-3s, but it's also important to know that a lot of vegetables, so leafy green vegetables, as well as like nuts, seeds, those sorts of things are also high in omega-3s. So fish isn't the only source that we think of when we think of omega-3s. And omega-3s are the good ones. Omega-6s are the bad ones. If you're going to play like good versus evil in terms of food and what we should or shouldn't be consuming of in mass quantities, if you will. So you'll be watching that documentary, and you'll be following him on that journey through exploring, like I said, different methods for capturing our seafood. And just some of the issues that are associated with that. And then there's some supplemental stuff in here. So this BBC article talks about the world's ocean seafood supply, and really like, are we running out of fish? And again, some of those issues associated with that. And then we take a look at, so we're exploring like wild fish supplies, but then we take a look at aquaculture. And this article does a really good job of walking you through the environmental impact of aquaculture, but then this video specifically walks you through 4 different aquaculture type systems, if you will. And this will be important for your discussion board questions. So there is a specific question where I ask you to explore one of the 4 systems further and then talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages associated with that. So you will have a quiz associated with that documentary, The Fish on My Plate, and then you have your discussion board for the week, and then your current event for the week. I did just want to point out question number 5, just make sure that you think about that. So a big portion of us do consume seafood. And so I would encourage you, if you do, to share what your favorite dish is that you enjoy making. Again, when we're talking about the fish on your plate, I like to just see how you're preparing that. If you don't consume fish, then I would be interested to hear kind of the why behind that. Maybe it is associated with something that you've learned in relation to seafood and our fish supplies. And then how you get your omega-3s. So remember I said there's other ways to get omega-3s in your diet. So those vegetables, those nuts, those seeds, those sorts of things. So maybe share with me a recipe that might highlight that omega-3 diet, if you will. So with that, that's your week 13 learning module. After this, we only have one more like learning module worth of information, if you will. So week 14, I'm going to try to tie it all together in week 14. and kind of give you a, now that I know all of this, now what type of module. And then week 14, or that's week 14. And then week 15, you're going to be working on your rough draft, and you'll be submitting a rough draft in your week 15. So make sure, if you haven't already done this, that you are navigating over to that left navigation toolbar. You're clicking on that signature assignment. You're watching the summary video. You're looking at the summary sheet. And then you're signing up for your topic, and you're signing up for your presentation method, if you will. So are you planning on recording a video? Are you planning on signing up for a specific face-to-face time? So make sure that you are completing those tasks, because in week 15, in week 15, you'll be submitting that rough draft copy of your poster. And then in week 16, you'll be submitting that final version with your presentation attached to it. And then there is a rubric attached here so that you can view how that assignment will be graded in that final week. So we are on the home stretch, folks. We only have 2 more weeks worth of content, and then 2 weeks worth of signature assignment, final wrap up type stuff. So with that, I hope you are all doing well and hanging in there. This is another common time where we start to feel like, oh, I'm super exhausted, and all I can say is just push through it. You've got this. We've got 4 weeks left, folks. So we are nearing that finish line. So with that, I appreciate you all. I appreciate your hard work up to this point. Keep chugging along. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out. I really am happy to help. Have a fantastic week.